I will defy this. I will find a way. There must be a way. And you may have to try 10,000 ways like Edison, but you're determined. Where does that hunger and passion come from? Yes. So we've all heard that you are the sum of the five people you surround yourself with. So I'm sure you surround yourself with great people and you work with your husband and one of your children. And your next child will probably come along also and work on the team. All the people that were telling you that it's impossible, which is, by the way, is just an opinion, and that it can't work. Who were these people?
The people who told me it can't work, I can't even tell you their names anymore.
Just give me the like. Were they friends, family? Were they neighbors? Were they industry
Oh,
individuals? Just give me a category.
oh, let me see. They were capital investors, potential capital investors. They were definitely family, absolutely friends, and chemists and scientists, believe it,
Wow.
because they hadn't approached the problem and looked for different ways to resolve the issues and the challenges.
So what would you say? Because this is such a great point. There's so many people that are afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of what hasn't been proven yet. They get stopped by not knowing how. As soon as it's not clear, they're like, oh, that I don't know how that works, and they get frozen, and it stops people from success. What ingredient do you have that says, okay, I will defy this? I will find a way. There must be a way. And you may have to try 10,000 ways like Edison, but you're determined. Where does that hunger and passion come from?
Well, you just said it. I literally imagine Edison or any other inventor who had a challenge. And of course, we always think about, we've heard many stories about how problems are bridges to the future. So I imagine building that bridge piece by piece by piece, and just adding one brick, one slab of cement, whatever material I'm using, at a time, to get closer and closer to the other side of figuring out that solution. And that to me is exciting. Actually I get excited when something becomes a challenge, because as you know, as you get used to finding solutions come easier and easier and easier because you're practicing being a problem solver. So when you actually run into a problem that's so big that it makes you sit down and think, okay, how can we overcome this? And what are the group of people that I need to gather together to make this happen? It's really exciting.
So I jotted down a bunch of things here that I love is problems are the bridge to the future. I get excited when it's a challenge, which by the way is a mark of a champion, and practice being a problem solver. What meaning do you give to overcoming these what other people have said are insurmountable? What is the thought you have? Is it like I want to stand out? Is it I want to change the world? I want to add value? I want to prove? What is the inner narrative? I'm curious.
Well, the overall goal is to make a contribution. I know, and I have specific information, and have since I was a child, that I'm here for X amount of time. And I was actually sent here to do a job. And trust me, every single day I wake up and I do that job, because I do not want to come to the end of this and have someone ask me, and they will, did you do your job?
Hmm.
I'm going to say, yes, I did, to the best of my ability. Some days I have to admit I wasn't as powerful, I wasn't as directed as I should have been, but in the time, on the day, given this whole lifespan, I did the best that I could.
Yeah, and I think there needs to be grace and forgiveness because we are human. We are variable. And it's one of the lessons I've learned is that as humans we will have good days and bad, but we will also have good weeks and bad,
Mhm.
and we will also have good months and bad, and sometimes good years and
Yes.
bad. And it's the people around us that show us patience and forgiveness that end up sticking with us the longest time. And um, that's not a lesson that always comes when you're young and impatient. So
No.
that makes sense to
It's,
you as well?
and oh, absolutely. I've had all those. I've experienced all of them, days, weeks, months, years. And I do have to say about the people around you. I was very fortunate in that I sought, prayed, whatever, however you'd like to position that, for people to meet who would have the same heart and passion that I had. And from the very beginning, I have had, of course, my husband, who I met in year one as I was building the company, and then a man who was to become our president, who was also our chief legal officer, and a couple other women who are still with us today. All these people are still with us, who became that core group. There were 5 of us, and we learned to trust one another and to actually make decisions on behalf of each other in the different areas that we are all in charge of. And we all worked with the same kind of love and passion and commitment and resolve to make a contribution in this effort, because we knew, we could see, each one of us could see how unique and special this movement was, this product was, and the opportunity that it brought those who were choosing to participate.
Yeah, beautiful. Speed of trust is a beautiful thing. Um, how many people are in your organization?
Well, employees, I think we have over we have between 300 and 400 employees. I'm trying to think. We have an Oklahoma uh, division. We're in 17 countries. And of course, we're in California. I think we have a couple hundred, maybe 250 in California. So we have between 300 and 400 employees. We have about 100,000 distributors
Wow.
represent this product line and sell the product to end consumers.
And what are your gross sales approximately annually?
We're privately owned, so we don't actually say that out loud.
Oh, okay. How can you give us perspective as to, and the reason I say it is I want people to be encouraged of what's possible to create.
We've sold billions.
Okay, so billions of dollars worth of sales. You've created over 100,000 opportunities for individuals to have a home-based business and to do something that they're passionate about. Is there, as there's usually an 80-20 rule, are many of the people part-time? Part-time, I imagine most of them are part-time versus this is a full-time thing?
I would say 95% of our distributors are part-time,
Hmm.
and about 5% are full-time career distributors. The majority of our distributors work on a very part-time basis to supplement their income, to maybe pay the electric bill or the gas bill or buy Christmas gifts.
Sure.
Whereas our full-time distributors are, of course, those, high-ranking distributors that you hear of that exist in the world of direct sales. If you're willing to do the work,
Yeah.
some people have a misgiving that if you join a direct sales company, all of a sudden you're going to make a ton of money. And if someone comes to me and says that about my company, I will direct them elsewhere because this is not something that happens magically. You have to work for it like you would any other career. You really have to be laser focused and build your business one step at a time, one piece of structure at a time, if you have an intent to make it long lasting.